finally now I'm here for my fourth speech. This is my fifth attempt at my fourth speech. Previous two meetings got cancelled and I was busy with the other two during the other two meetings. What I'm going to talk about is something that we have all witnessed and we have all watched, that is sports. And I'm going to talk about why do we watch sports. In 1995, we got our first television, color television. Before that, we had this small 14-inch portable black and white television. And we finally got to see Star Sports and the sports channel. Previously, what used to happen, that Star Sports was somewhere in between 7 and 8 on the portable tuner. So we have to keep adjusting the tuner. We broke the tuner I don't know how many times. But finally, we could watch Star Sports in its full glory in color television. In 1995, in Wimbledon, there was a tournament in Wimbledon. I was not aware of tennis as such, but what I saw was just mesmerizing. And it was a player with long hair, 6 feet 2 inches height. See, I was very small, I was very thin. Don't get me wrong, but I was very thin. Okay, so I was very thin, and I saw him, and he's serving at 140 kilometers per hour speed. Nobody can take his serve. Goran Ivanisevic. I was like, man, I want to be this guy. I want to play. I want to go out and play sports. I want to be like him. And then I started watching almost every sport, including chess and golf. I used to note down all the matches, chess matches as well. I still have in my old diary complete collection of matches between Vishwanathan Anand and Kasparov, the full 9-match series. And even though I was not playing outdoors, I was well aware of the rules now of almost all the sports. But then I started realizing that sports is such a big business, and why do we watch sports? The most common answer that came to me was that probably we want to see athletes perform at their best or excel in the field that they are playing. But then, do we really want to watch a master painter paint, a songwriter compose a song, or a book writer write a book? Probably we don't want to do that. See, so I realized that there is something. There is creation and there is creator. An author is different from the book. Once a songwriter has finished writing a song, we can go and listen to that song, not really knowing who the songwriter was. Sports is different. There is performer and there is performance, both combined together. But then so is dance, so is acting. Then what's the difference? See, the dance is that. Dance is a performance. It's a scripted. You practice it day in and day out, not sports. Sports is instinctive. You take a call right at that moment. You cannot practice for something which has never happened before. You're facing a ball, Muralitharan is bowling. You really don't know whether it's going to turn in or to go out. You have to react instinctively at that point of moment. So that is what differs between sports and any other form. And it has its own narrative. But so has all the books and movies and theaters and plays. They have their own narratives. Then what makes sports different? Why do we watch it so much? Because movies and books, they have a plot. They have tropes. They have cliches, which we know right from the start how it's going to end. We know that a hero is going to survive for 2 hours and then still win the battle against villain. If only it's a downer ending where the other doesn't want anybody to go back happy, they will have a very, very sad ending where hero dies and the villain wins. But mostly, hero will win. Is that true in sports? Isn't it true that when we want to watch, let's say Rahul Dravid score some runs and he doesn't? See, I once actually broke my old television, portable television. I was waiting for Rahul Dravid to score some runs. He played around 80 balls, scoring 26 runs in 1997 Sahara Cup, and I broke it because I was so mad. It's not going to happen the same way. It's not going to happen with any other form. So probably that is why we watch sports. And then there's another thing which amused me. That is fandom. Fandom in sports is a very different concept than any other. You see, the number of fights that break out in the Europa Premier Leagues or between a match between Manchester United and Chelsea is something unprecedented. It doesn't happen. It's almost a religious experience. So why do people become fan of sports? Because it allows us to project an image from ourselves onto the field. We are playing when we are watching. We are as involved as the player himself. Probably that is why we watch sports. But then there is another thing. That is why we watch sports. See, in 1997, in Durban Test match, India got out on 100 in the first inning, chasing a first inning score of 235. The second inning, South Africa scored somewhere around 250, and India was at one point of time 13 for 5. And then there is this young guy who came in, and he started batting. He hit 5 boundaries in that, 4 pull shots of Alan Donald, and I know that is why I watch sports. He was Rahul Dravid. He scored 27 not out of 66 deliveries. But that is why I watch sports. I went back and I decided, on a cricket field, I'm never ever going to get out again. Whether I score run or not, I'm not going to get out. So that is why I watch sports, because it tells little about the athletes, but it tells a lot about ourselves. That, my friend, is why I watch sports. Thank you.